On the 9th of June 7, 1998, something happened inside Aso Rock presidential villa in Abuja that the Nigerian government has never fully explained. A man slipped out of the May villa quietly. His wife was asleep, his children were asleep, the whole country was asleep. He walked to a guest house just a few meters away inside the same compound. He was joined by at least 2 other people, and at approximately 4 a.m. on June 8, 1998, he collapsed. By morning, Nigeria woke up to the news. General Sani Abacha, the most feared man in Nigeria, was dead. He was buried the same day. No autopsy, no investigation, no independent medical examination. The most powerful man in Nigeria died in suspicious circumstances and was in the ground before the sun set. But here is the question that every Nigerian should be asking, not just how he died, but what happened to the money. Because in 5 years, just 5 years, Sani Abacha stole between 3 and 5 billion US dollars from Nigeria. $5 billion from a country where people could not buy fuel, where hospitals had no medicine, where teachers went months without salary. And 28 years later, Nigeria is still trying to get that money back. This is the night he died and the $5 billion he left behind.
Nigeria is the only country we have.
To understand the night Abacha died, you need first to understand how he got there.
But you know exactly what we went through in this nation.
He was born on the 20th of September 1943 in Kano. Modest family, nothing extraordinary, nothing that suggested the man he would become. He joined the Nigerian army in 1963, trained in Nigeria, trained in the United Kingdom, trained in the United States. He was known as quite serious, disciplined, one who watched more than he spoke. But Abacha understood one thing from very early. In Nigeria, the military was not just a profession, it was a path to power. And he was patient. He was present at every major military event in Nigeria history. The 1966 coup, Abacha was there. The 1975 coup that removed Conwo, Abacha was there. The 1983 coup that removed Sagari, Abacha was there. The 1985 coup that brought Babangida, Abacha was there. Every coup, every transition, every moment of chaos, Abacha was always there, always surviving, always moving closer to the center. Then, on the 17th of November 1993, he made his move. Nigeria was in crisis. MKO Abiola had won the June 12 election. Babangida had annulled it, and interim government was struggling. The whole country was in turmoil. Abacha appeared on national television, military uniform, calm voice, and announced that he was taking over.
Nigeria is the only country we have. We must therefore solve our problems ourselves. We must lay a very solid foundation.
The constitution was suspended, democratic institutions were shut down. Abacha was now the head of state. Nigerians were initially relieved. They thought this man had no political agenda. He would stabilize things and hand over quickly. They were wrong. Within weeks, the true Abacha began to emerge. Newspapers were shut down. Journalists were arrested. Politicians who dared to speak found themselves in detention without trial. And MKO Abiola, the man who had actually won the election, was arrested in June 1994 when he tried to declare himself the rightful president of Nigeria. But here is a question I want you to sit with. How does a military ruler earning a government salary end up stealing $5 billion in 5 years? The answer is not complicated. It is just breathtaking in its boldness. Here is how this machine worked. Abacha would instruct his national security advisor, a man called Ismailia Gwazo, to submit a request for money, a vague request, national security purposes, no specific details. Abacha would sign off on the request himself. The request would go to the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Central Bank would release the money, sometimes in cash, sometimes in traveler check. Gwazo would take that money physically to Abacha's house. Think about what that means. The Central Bank of Nigeria releasing millions of dollars in cash, physically transported to the president's house. An estimated $1.4 billion was delivered this way in cash to his house. From there, the money moved fast to Switzerland, to Liechtenstein, to the United Kingdom, to the United States, hidden behind company names that meant nothing to the public. Dora Properties Corporation, Morgan Procurement Corporation, dozens of shares companies, same money, different names, different countries, and the people who helped him do it. His son, Sani Abacha, his national security advisor Ismail Gwazo, and a businessman called Abubakar Bagudo, who later became the governor of Kebbi State. While all of this was happening, what was Nigeria experiencing? Power cuts lasting 20 hours a day, fuel queues stretched 3 kilometers, hospital with empty medicine cabinet, university shut down by strike, workers going months without salary, the richest country in Africa and its people could not buy fuel. But Abacha was not listening. He was also eliminating anyone who got in his way. The most famous example is Ken Saro Wiwa, a writer, an activist, a man from Ogoniland in Niger Delta who campaigned peacefully against the environment destruction caused by oil companies in his community. He organized protests, he wrote articles, he spoke to international media. On the 10th of November 1995, after he tried that the whole world called a sham, Ken Saro Wiwa and 8 other Ogoni activists were taken to Port Harcourt prison and hanged. The world was outraged. Nigeria was expelled from the Commonwealth. What leaders condemned the execution. Abacha continued as if nothing had happened. MKO Abiola was in prison. His wife Kudirat was fighting for his release, traveling internationally, speaking to government, refusing to be silent. In June 1996, Kudirat Abiola was shot dead in Lagos traffic, assassinated. Her husband was still in prison. By 1998, 5 years into his rule, Abacha was making his next move. He was prepared to transform himself from military ruler into civilian president. His party had nominated him. His supporters were calling him the only one who could save Nigeria. He was sitting up to the roof forever.
Nigeria is the only country we have.
Then came the night of June 7. By June 1998, the international pressure on Abacha was enormous. American officials were in Abuja negotiating for Abiola's release. The whole world was watching. And on the evening of June 7, after his wife and children had gone to bed, Abacha quietly left the main presidential villa. He walked to a guest house inside the same compound just a few meters from where his family slept. What happened next, nobody has ever fully agreed on. The most widely reported version says he was with 2 Indian women, that he collapsed suddenly, that his security aides were called, that nothing could be done. But in August 2026, just 8 days ago, a retired senior official of the Department of State Service named Dennis Amangri published a book, DSS at 40, My Journey Behind the Shed. In it, he gave a complete different account. He said the woman with Abacha that night was not Indian. She was a Nigerian pharmacist. She had arrived from the Nokan Hilton Hotel at approximately 2:40 a.m. Her younger sister was with her. By the time Abacha Chief Security Officer Mayor Hamza Al-Mustafa was informed of what had happened at 5 a.m., the pharmacist had already left Abuja. DSS agents were sent to find her in Lagos. They found her in Ogodun. Amangri conducted the interrogation himself. The first thing she said to him was this:
I did not kill him. He died on top of me.
2 versions, 2 completely different accounts, but both agree on the same basic fact. Abacha was not in the main villa. He was not with his family. He collapsed, and the circumstances had never been officially investigated. He was buried on the same day, according to Islamic tradition, without an autopsy. The most powerful man in Nigeria dead in suspicious circumstances in the ground before sunset. No answers, no investigation, no truth. When news broke in the morning of June 8, Nigeria reacted in a way that shocked the world. People celebrated. In Lagos, Ikano, in Port Harcourt, Ibadan, people danced in the streets, horns were hung, prayers were said, not for his soul but in relief that he was gone. Adun Salami Abubakar, the Chief of Defense Staff, was sworn in as head of state at 1:43 a.m. on June 9, and within weeks, Abiola's release was being arranged. American officials came to Abuja. A U.S. delegation met with Abiola on the morning of July 7, 1998. During that meeting, in front of American delegation, MKO Abiola began foaming at the mouth. He collapsed. He was rushed to hospital. He died within hours. The man who won the election that Abacha annulled died 1 month after Abacha on the exact day he was supposed to be freed. No autopsy, no investigation, no answers. 2 deaths 1 month apart, both in circumstances that had never been fully explained. Nigeria has never fully recovered from either of them. Now, the $5 billion. The moment Abacha died, a global hunt began. In September 1999, a Swedish lawyer named Enrico Mufrini received a phone call from a senior member of presidential Obasanjo government. They had one job for him: find the money. What followed was one of the longest and most complicated asset recovery operations in history. Switzerland, Liechtenstein, the United Kingdom, the United States, Luxembourg, Jersey Island, the Cayman Islands. The money was everywhere, hidden behind dozens of share companies, moved through multiple accounts. These guys being names that had no obvious connection to Abacha. Country by country, the money was found and returned. Switzerland returned billions, Jersey Island returned $308 million, United States seized and returned over $408 million, Liechtenstein returned $227 million after a 16-year effort. By 2022, Nigeria had recovered over $3.6 billion of the stolen wealth. But here is the question nobody is asking loudly enough. When that money was released to Nigeria, what happened to it? Under Obasanjo, recovered Abacha loot was received. No clear public accounting of how it was spent. Under Jonathan, more money was returned, same story. Under Buhari, $322 million was returned from Switzerland in 2017. It was supposed to go to the most vulnerable Nigeria through a conditional cash transfer program. Where it fully reached the people, Nigeria are still asking. Transparency International warned clearly, where institutions of accountability are not working well, money recovered from one corrupt leader can still be stolen by the next one. The money was stolen once by Abacha. There are serious questions about whether it was stolen again when it came back. Here is what I wanted to sit with after this video. Sani Abacha stole $5 million from Nigeria in 5 years. Nigeria spent 28 years and hundreds of millions in legal fields trying to get it back. Over $3.6 billion has been returned. That's and ordinary Nigerians, the people that money belongs to, have seen almost none of it. The hospital are still broken, the road are still broken, the power is still not stable. The money came back and went somewhere, but not to the people. This is not just the story of Sani Abacha, this is the story of how Nigeria was. And until ordinary Nigeria understand exactly how that system was and demand something different, it will keep working that way.
But you know exactly what we went through in this nation.
The next time you hear that Abacha loot has been returned to Nigeria, do not ask where it came from, ask where it went. Thank you for staying until the end. If this video gave you something to think about, share it. Every Nigerian needs to know this story fully. Like this video, subscribe to Victo TV. God bless you.